The REDMAGIC 2018. The phone that said, "I'll game hard, even if my software collapses harder."
Facts. It had solid gaming for its age. Snapdragon 835, game boost, and cooling vents like it thought it was a mini jet engine.
Plus, tough aluminum build, RGB strip, good battery, and a bright 6-inch screen.
But the cons? Outdated chip at launch, buggy software, barely any updates, random touch issues, mono speaker, and a camera that tried its best. But yeah.
And that design? Either epic gamer energy or, why is my phone glowing?
Classic 2018 chaos. Perfect for nostalgia, not so perfect for daily life today.
First thought? The REDMAGIC Mars hits hard for an older gaming phone.
Yep. Snapdragon 845, up to 10 gigabytes RAM. It still runs games pretty well for its age.
Those shoulder triggers? Love them. Makes shooters way less finger gymnastics.
And the 4D haptics? Kinda dramatic, but in a fun, my phone is trying its best way.
Cooling system solid too. Doesn't stay ice cold, but it keeps performance steady.
Okay, now the cons. The camera?
Let's just say it's allergic to low light.
And that 60Hz display. Definitely feels last gen now.
Plus the software quirks. Some translations feel like they were done at 3 a.m.
Compared to the previous model though, huge upgrades. Faster chip, better cooling, stereo speakers, more storage.
Big glow up, just not a photographer's dream. This phone has a literal cooling fan. Yes, a fan.
Yep. Today we're breaking down the Nubia REDMAGIC 3. Its pros, cons, and
Pros? Big ones. Snapdragon 855 power, a smooth 90Hz AMOLED display, and a huge 5000 mAh battery.
Plus, that active cooling keeps performance steady.
Cons? Buggy software, broken HDR, and it's pretty heavy.
But compared to the older model, you get a bigger screen, faster storage, better cameras, and far better battery life.
Picture this, a gaming phone with a cooling fan, and now an even faster engine under the hood.
Yep. Today, we're talking about the REDMAGIC 3S and how it levels up from the REDMAGIC 3.
The 3S takes everything the REDMAGIC 3 did well, like that 90Hz AMOLED display and big 5000 mAh battery, and pushes performance further.
Exactly. The big upgrade is the Snapdragon 855 Plus, giving smoother gameplay and higher sustained frame rates.
You also get improved fan tuning and better thermal control, so long gaming sessions stay cooler.
Plus faster UFS 3.0 storage across more variants, making apps and games load quicker than on the standard 3.
There are still a few downsides. The software can feel unpolished, HDR support is still spotty, and the phone stays on the heavier side.
But overall, the REDMAGIC 3S is a clear performance upgrade, taking the solid foundation of the REDMAGIC 3 and making it faster, cooler, and more consistent for gamers.
The REDMAGIC 5G brings a 6.65-inch 144Hz AMOLED, a Snapdragon 865, and up to 16 gigabytes of RAM. But raw power alone doesn't make it great.
True. Gaming performance is strong, and the UFS 3.0/3.1 storage keeps everything fast. But the phone still feels rough outside of gaming.
The built-in cooling fan and shoulder triggers work well, but they're really features only serious mobile gamers take advantage of.
The cameras remain pretty average, and low-light shots still fall behind other phones in the same price range.
And the software is still the weakest part, buggy at times and not as polished as bigger brand.
It does beat the older REDMAGIC 3S with a faster chip, a jump to 144Hz from 90Hz, better cooling, quicker charging, and 5G support.
But those upgrades don't fix the heavy build, or the fact that it's not the best everyday phone outside gaming. The REDMAGIC 5S sticks to the 5G formula but sharpens a few edges.
Yeah, the 144Hz display and Snapdragon 865 still deliver great gaming speed.
And that upgraded UFS 3.1 storage makes loading smoother than on the 5G.
The cooling tweaks help too. The fan and silver plate cut heat better in long sessions.
But the everyday software still feels clunky.
And the cameras? Still just okay, especially in low light.
It's an upgrade, sure, but mostly for gamers.
Anyone wanting a balanced phone might not feel the jump from the 5G.
The REDMAGIC 6 clearly tries to push gaming performance further, and that 165Hz display is the biggest leap from the 5S.
Absolutely. The jump to the Snapdragon 888 makes a real difference. Games load faster, frame rates stay higher, and the built-in cooling fan keeps performance more stable.
The larger 5050 mAh battery and quicker charging also help. It can last a full day unless you're gaming non-stop.
But let's be honest, the weaknesses didn't disappear. The camera system is still pretty average, and the software feels rough around the edges.
Yeah, REDMAGIC OS still needs polish. Plus, no IP rating, no micro SD slot, and the bulky design won't appeal to everyone.
Still, compared to the 5S, the improvements in speed, display quality, and touch response are significant.
For gamers, it's a solid upgrade. For everyday users, it's powerful but imperfect. The REDMAGIC 6 Pro takes what the standard REDMAGIC 6 did well and turns it up a notch. The biggest upgrade is definitely the faster charging, up to 120 watts on the Chinese model.
Yeah, that alone cuts downtime dramatically. And the Pro version also bumps storage and RAM, reaching up to 18 gigabytes, which is crazy for a phone.
Performance is basically the same, still rocking the Snapdragon 888, but with better thermal management thanks to the enhanced cooling system.
But like the regular 6, the weaknesses stick around. The cameras still aren't great, and REDMAGIC OS continues to feel unrefined.
Plus, no micro SD slot, no IP rating, and the bulky gamer style won't appeal to everyone.
Still, compared to the standard 6, the 6 Pro's faster charging, higher RAM options, and improved cooling give power users more headroom.
Exactly. If you want maximum performance, the 6 Pro is the better pick, even if it's not perfect outside gaming. The REDMAGIC 6S Pro doesn't reinvent the wheel, but the jump to the Snapdragon 888 Plus instantly makes it snappier than the 6 Pro. You feel that higher clock speed in demanding games.
And the cooling system is upgraded too. The new aerospace-grade cooling plate and faster fan keep temps lower, so performance drops are even less common than on the 6 Pro.
The 6S Pro also brings improved touch triggers, 450 Hz this time, so response feels sharper, especially in shooters.
But let's be honest, the camera situation hasn't improved, and REDMAGIC OS still lacks polish. Same bugs, same awkward UI moments.
Plus, the design is still chunky, and with no IP rating or MSD slot, it's clearly built just for gamers.
Still, compared to the 6 Pro, the smoother thermals, faster chip, and more responsive triggers make it the better performance machine.
Right. If you already own a 6 Pro, the upgrade is small. But if you're choosing between them, the 6S Pro is the more refined gaming beast. So Emma, the REDMAGIC 7 series. Insane power, right? That Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 and the 165Hz screen feel like cheating.
True, Nano, but let's be honest. Battery life drops faster than your KD in ranked. And the cameras? Definitely not flagship level.
Fair, but those shoulder triggers and the cooling fan? Pure gamer heaven.
Yeah, and at least they improve things over the REDMAGIC 6. Better cooling, faster charging, smoother performance.
Bottom line, amazing for hardcore gamers, questionable for everyone else. The REDMAGIC 7 Pro pushes the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 harder than the REDMAGIC 7, thanks to the upgraded ICE 9.0 cooling. You get smoother, sustained frame rates and less thermal throttling.
True, but the refresh rate drops from 165 Hz on the REDMAGIC 7 to 120 Hz here. Still smooth, just not as competitive.
Camera setup stays mostly the same. The 64-megapixel main is decent, but low light, ultra-wide, and that under-display selfie remain weak.
Pros are strong gaming power, improved cooling, great charging, and solid build. Cons include the refresh rate downgrade, average cameras, battery drain under heavy gaming, and limited software support.
A clear upgrade in stability, but not in visuals or camera. Performance jumps on the REDMAGIC 7S Pro with the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1. It's more efficient, runs cooler, and holds higher frame rates than the REDMAGIC 7 Pro, especially with the upgraded ICE 10.0 cooling and the faster internal fan.
Display stays similar, but some regions still get the 120Hz panel instead of the full 165Hz from the standard REDMAGIC 7. Smooth, but competitive players may feel that drop.
Camera setup hasn't improved much. The 64-megapixel main is usable, but low light is weak, the ultra-wide lacks detail, and the under-display selfie is still soft.
Pros: stronger sustained performance, better thermal stability, fast charging, and solid build. Cons: average cameras, refresh rate inconsistency, battery drain with heavy gaming, and software still feels rough.
A more efficient upgrade, but not a camera or display leap. Today we're breaking down the REDMAGIC 8 Pro, and the first upgrade you feel over the 7S Pro is the performance jump. That Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 with UFS 4.0 makes everything load faster and stay smooth.
And visually, the redesign is a big win. The new boxy look, thinner bezels, and cleaner under-display camera make it feel way more modern than the 7S Pro.
Plus, that bigger 6,000 mAh battery is a massive improvement. Longer gaming time, fewer top-ups.
Cooling got better too. The ICE 11 system keeps temps more stable, and the fan isn't as loud as the 7S Pro's setup.
And don't forget the new 50-megapixel GN5 main sensor with OIS, a noticeable step up from the old 64-megapixel shooter.
True, even the speakers sound fuller. So yeah, the 8 Pro fixes a lot of what the 7S Pro struggled with.
If you want the generation where REDMAGIC actually leveled up, this episode lays out every improvement clean and simple. Today we're talking REDMAGIC 8S Pro, and the first thing you notice is the overclocked Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. Performance is slightly higher than the 8 Pro, smoother frames and better sustained FPS in long sessions.
Yep, and the upgraded ICE 12 cooling system is quieter and keeps temps lower, which really helps in marathon gaming.
The nano-etched back is another small but nice touch, better grip and less fingerprint smudging compared to the 8 Pro.
Software got an upgrade too. REDMAGIC OS 8 has smoother animations, improved virtual RAM, and more stable gaming tools.
And overall, the 8S Pro feels more future-proof, pushing the hardware a bit harder without killing battery life.
If you want a small but meaningful upgrade over the 8 Pro, this episode breaks down why the 8S Pro hits the sweet spot for gamers.
The REDMAGIC 9 Pro brings real upgrades over the 8S Pro. The Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 is the biggest jump. Faster, cooler, and way better GPU performance.
The 6.8-inch AMOLED is brighter and more color accurate. Still bezel-less, but now cleaner and smoother.
Battery jumps to 6,500 mAh with 80-watt charging, giving longer gaming time than the 8S Pro.
Cooling is stronger too. ICE 12 keeps temps stable, so no throttle dips.
Cameras finally improved. Dual 50-megapixel sensors with OIS beat the old setup easily.
Wi-Fi 7, stereo speakers, triggers, RGB fan. Everything feels more refined.
Today we're checking out the REDMAGIC 9S Pro. It builds on the 9 Pro and tightens everything up. The overclocked Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 leading chip adds a smooth performance boost and stronger GPU for heavy titles.
The cooling gets a boost too. ICE 13.5 with improved vapor chamber keeps temps even lower than the 9 Pro after long plays.
Touch sampling hits 960 Hz, RAM goes up to 16 gigabytes, and UFS 4.0 storage stays lightning fast. Multitasking and emulation just feel more reliable.
All the core specs. 6.8-inch AMOLED, 6,500 mAh battery, 80-watt fast charging remain solid. But stability, thermals, input speed and RAM headroom put 9S Pro noticeably ahead.
If you like the 9 Pro but want the most polished, max performance take on REDMAGIC hardware, the 9S Pro might be the one. The REDMAGIC 10 Pro makes a bigger jump over the 9S Pro than I expected.
Yeah, starting with that Snapdragon 8 Elite, it's a clear power leap.
Gaming feels smoother, especially GPU-heavy titles.
And the display upgrade stands out. Brighter, sharper, and more responsive.
Battery jumps to 7,050 mAh too. That's more game time than the 9S Pro.
Cooling is stronger as well. The new thermal system handles heat better.
Plus faster RAM and UFS 4.1 storage. Everything loads quicker.
And don't forget the 100-watt charging. Way faster than what we got before.
Overall, the 10 Pro doesn't just upgrade, it levels up.
Yeah, it's a clean win over the 9S Pro for performance-focused users.
The REDMAGIC 10 Air is the cheaper option this year.
Yeah, still gaming-focused, but with lighter specs.
The chipset is slightly lower, like last-gen low, but gameplay stays smooth.
Cooling is passive now, no fan, so it's quieter but less powerful.
Display drops to 120 Hz, but it still feels responsive.
Battery's a bit smaller, yet efficiency keeps it strong.
Cameras are basic, but fine for a gaming phone.
Small compromises, big savings.
Today we're checking out the REDMAGIC 10S Pro, the boosted version of the 10 Pro.
It packs an overclocked Snapdragon 8 Elite leading chip, giving extra power for hardcore gaming or emulation.
RAM and storage are upgraded too. Faster RAM plus UFS 4.1 storage for snappy loading.
Cooling gets serious. Liquid metal, bigger vapor chamber, and a high RPM fan keep temps down during long sessions.
Battery life stays great, and charging remains solid.
Software is upgraded. Smoother OS, longer support, and added features like emulator support and better AI tweaks.
Downsides? Cameras are still average, and the bulky gamer phone build isn't for everyone.
But if you want maxed out performance and more stable gameplay than the 10 Pro, the 10S Pro is a prime pick.
The REDMAGIC 11 Pro is wild. This is the biggest jump they've made in years.
Facts. That Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 hits harder than anything the lineup's seen.
And the new liquid cooling system? Actual liquid circulation. No joke.
Plus the 23,000 RPM fan and massive vapor chamber. This thing barely heats up.
The display is insane too. Bucks 10 AMOLED, 144 Hz, super bright, no camera punch hole.
Yeah, the under-display selfie keeps it clean for gaming.
Battery got bigger, up to 7,500 mAh, even 8,000 mAh in China.
And 80-watt wired and wireless charging. That's a flex.
The RedCore R4 chip also boosts touch, haptics, and frame stability.
Cameras aren't flagship level, but way improved for a gaming phone.
Overall,
The 11 Pro feels like a gaming phone that finally does everything else well